You felt it, didn't you? That moment, where something felt off, but you couldn't explain why. Not a question, a statement. You felt it at the register when the total hit and your stomach dropped. You felt it when you checked your account at 11 p.m. and just stared at the number. You felt it when a friend mentioned they got laid off and you thought quietly, how close am I? That feeling has a name. It's not anxiety. It's not bad budgeting. It's not a mindset problem. That feeling is called reality. And someone has been working very hard to convince you it isn't real. Every empire in history has had a moment, a specific moment where the story the government told its people disconnected from real life. Rome called it stability while the borders collapsed. Japan called it growth while the asset bubble swallowed a generation. America in 2026 calls it a resilient economy. While you work 2 jobs to afford the apartment your parents bought on one. This video is about that gap. The gap between the press release and the paycheck, between the report and the refrigerator, between what they measure and what you live. Let's start with something. Nobody tells you about recessions. They are declared after the damage is already done. The organization responsible for calling recessions in America is the National Bureau of Economic Research, the NBER. In 2008, the crash that wiped out $13 trillion, the recession began in December 2007. It was officially declared in December 2008, 12 months later. In 2000, one recession started in March and was declared in November. By the time experts confirmed the problem, people had already lost jobs, homes, and savings. The diagnosis came after the damage. So ask yourself, what if we are in that window right now? 4.4% unemployment. Sounds strong. But here's what it hides. To be counted as unemployed, you must be actively searching for work. The moment you stop, you disappear from the data. Right now, 1.6 million people are invisible in that system. They didn't find jobs, they gave up. And the numbers improved, but it gets worse. When 500 full-time jobs disappear, and those same people take 2 part-time jobs each, the report says 1,000 jobs added. Same people. Worse lives. Better statistics. Over 8 million Americans are working multiple jobs not by choice, but to survive. They are not climbing. They are treading water. So how is spending still strong? Not because people are earning more, because they are borrowing more. Credit card debt is now over $1 trillion, $280 billion, and interest rates are over 22%. If you carry $5,000 on a card, you will pay nearly $10,000 to clear it. You borrowed $5,000. You paid back $10,000 for groceries. And nobody calls that a crisis. They call it normal. Savings are falling. Debt is rising. Spending is being powered by borrowed money. That is not growth. That is pressure building. Let me translate something into real life. When a number becomes the goal, it stops showing reality. It becomes a performance. The unemployment rate was meant to measure suffering. Now it measures optics. They are not managing the economy. They are managing how it looks. So what should you actually watch? Watch what people do, not what reports say. Watch job losses. Watch missed payments. Watch quiet layoffs. That is real data. And one more thing. Debt is the real danger. In a downturn, cash gives you choices. Debt takes them away. So build optionality, skills, extra income, flexibility, because that is what keeps you safe. And remember this, you are not crazy. You are not failing. You are not alone. The data is lying to you. Your life is not. So tell me, what does the economy feel like for you right now? Not headlines, real life. You need to understand something. Everything I told you so far, that's just the surface. That's the part that still shows up in reports, the part they can't really hide. But what I'm about to show you, this is the stuff nobody talks about, like ever. 5 economic wounds, all happening at the same time, right now. And honestly, even one of these would be bad. All 5 together? That's not a warning anymore. That's a diagnosis. Let's start with housing. Back in 1980, the average home cost about 2.8 times the average yearly salary. Today, it's closer to 6.8 times. Same idea of a house, Same basic life goal, but now it's more than twice as hard to afford. And mortgage rates, you probably remember, during COVID, they were around 3%. Now, they're above 7. Yeah, and that changes everything. Let me make it real. A $400,000 house at 3% interest. You're paying around $1,686 a month. Same house at 7%, about $2,661. Same house, same street, and somehow almost $1,000 more every month just because of timing. That's it. And then people say, why aren't young people buying homes? This is why. It's not laziness. It's not mindset. The math just doesn't work anymore. And the people who already bought, they're locked in at those low rates. They're not selling. Why would they? So fewer houses go on the market. Prices stay high. And new buyers just get squeezed from both sides. The dream didn't disappear. It just got too expensive to enter. Now, healthcare, and this one's honestly worse. Think about this for a second. In how many developed countries can someone work full time, do everything right, pay insurance every single month, get sick, and still go bankrupt? Yeah, almost nowhere. Except here, medical debt is the number one cause of personal bankruptcy. Not gambling, not reckless spending, just getting sick. Around 100 million people are dealing with some form of medical debt. 100 million, that's not rare anymore. That's normal. One accident, one diagnosis, one emergency, and everything you built can just disappear. Doesn't matter how responsible you were. That's the system. Now, retirement. Picture this. A 70-year-old man still working. Not for fun, not because he's bored, because he has to. And you've probably seen this already. At stores, at counters, everywhere. This isn't unusual anymore. This is becoming normal. The old system had 3 parts. Pension from your job, support from the government, and your own savings. Now, pensions are basically gone for most people. Government support is under pressure. And savings? We already talked about that. It's low, really low. So that system, it's not holding up. People who did everything right are realizing it still wasn't enough. And if you're younger, watching this, you're seeing it happen in real time. That hits different. Now, small businesses, people don't talk about this enough. Almost half the workforce depends on small businesses, not big tech, not corporations, small businesses. And right now, they're struggling hard. Loans are expensive. Rent is up. Costs are rising everywhere. And they're competing with massive companies that basically have unlimited resources. So what happens? They shut down. Quietly. No big headlines. No breaking news. Just gone. And when a small business closes, you don't just lose a shop. You lose people. You lose community. You lose stability in that area. It adds up. And then there's the last one, trust. This one's different. You can't always see it, but you can definitely feel it. People don't trust systems the way they used to. They don't trust institutions. They don't trust media. They don't trust leadership. And when that trust starts breaking, everything else starts getting shaky too. Because an economy runs on trust. Trust that money holds value. Trust that your effort will pay off. Trust that tomorrow will be at least somewhat stable. And when that trust goes, things don't just slow down. They start breaking. Quietly at first, then all at once. So yeah, 5 wounds. Housing, healthcare, retirement, small business, trust. None of these are loud. None of these hit you all at once. They build slowly, in the background, just like everything we've been talking about. Now listen, this isn't meant to scare you. I'm serious. This is just clarity. So what do you actually do? First, watch what people are doing, not what reports are saying. Watch job losses. Watch missed payments. Watch businesses closing quietly. That's real data. Second, debt. This is important. In uncertain times, cash gives you options. Debt takes those options away. Simple as that. And third, build flexibility, skills, extra income, anything that gives you more control, because that's what keeps you stable when things get unpredictable. And just remember this: you're not crazy, you're not failing, and you're definitely not the only one feeling this. If things feel off, there's a reason. The data might say one thing, but your real life, that tells the truth. So tell me honestly, what does it feel like for you right now? Not headlines, not theory, real life. And if this hit a little too close, send it to someone. Not to scare them, just so they're not the last one to realize what's going on. I'll see you in the next one.